Hey there! Welcome to this sketchbook flip through. I'm still very much figuring this whole YouTube thing out, but let's do a flip through. That's what people do on YouTube, right? This is a sketchbook I finished this June. I tend to have quite a few sketchbooks going on at the same time, different sizes with different papers. This is a very thin paper. People will tell you not to use this because it warps and bleeds through and everything. It turns out like this, but I love it. I love the chaos of it. I love the messiness of it, because that helps me create things. And this is going to be a very messy sketchbook. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be beautiful like other people's sketchbooks. If you're looking for that, check out someone else. Because that style, well, it's not my style. I don't want to say anything bad about it, because it's true for someone else, but I can't focus on that. I can't find space in that enough to create. I usually start off with a self-portrait. This is a postcard I got 6 months before, whatever. So you'll find random small drawings here. Stuff I like to stick there. This is actually my daily routine. 4 things I try to do every day. A bit of studying the Bible, some prayer, some form of making a picture, if it's photography or drawing or painting, and some writing. You'll find some watercolors here, fountain pen drawings. Oh man, faces are hard. Sometimes I make a mess, and that's part of the process. It's all about the process, not the end product, or not the end. This was from Sketchbook School Draw Tip Tuesday, drawing your hand with some shadows in watercolor and ink. I take photocopies of things from art books. A lot of small ponderings and thoughts. This is about creative habit. What's a habit exactly? There's a monk's habit, like a costume. There's 2 Latin words that I don't know actually where the word habit comes from. There's habere, which means to own something, but there's also habitare, which is to live somewhere. So a creative habit is owning your work, but it's also a place where you can live. I was priming some canvases, so I drew that. This was a sketch for a self-portrait painting. This didn't really work out. However, this did. I painted that later. This pose and the easel in the background there. Just random doodles. There's my camera there and my coffee cup. And I suppose this is the upside down. I hadn't watched Stranger Things at that point, but I was actually drawing these kind of things. I've been drawing them for years now. More sketches for a painting. Believe it or not, these are sketches. There's a church steeple here and a factory chimney in the background. And I was figuring out there's a 0 and 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5. The order in which to paint them. Here's a thought. Where does the word disintegration come from? Dis means of course not, but in also means not. So it's a double negative. And tangere is Latin for touch. So integrity means something that is untouched, something that hasn't been broken because someone touched it. It has integrity. So disintegration means something that hasn't been not touched. Oh, that's a triple. Whatever. It means something that has been touched in a bad way, messed with, I suppose. You'll find a lot of these people's, back profiles and backs of their heads. I love drawing on the bus. So this is a weird angle to draw people from. I practice drawing these folds of your clothing, again for the same self-portrait. I've never painted this, I've never drawn this. I've always found it very hard. And that's what the process is about. It's about looking at things that you find hard. And while I drew this and painted this, I was thinking about particularity and writing about it. I was drawing and painting this particular shirt, these particular folds in this particular light and in this moment. And these folds never happen again in this precise form. So it's about being in the moment. It's about living in the moment, and it's about love. It's about caring enough about the moment, caring enough about life and creation that you look at it and choose to pay attention to it. And this is a thought I come back to again and again. To draw something is to love something. When you draw something, it's you love it enough to pay attention to it. Hugs Kill Fascism was a great graffiti I found in a bathroom stall at the university. I love drawing my cameras. Here's my trusty Diana camera and another lomography camera. I love coffee, speaking of which. So here's my Chemex. Draw the everyday. If you have a croissant for breakfast, draw that. Draw what you love. Here's the church I used to go to, was my home church, and actually my work church as well. Nothing is trivial. Yeah, there are no small things. The trivial things are actually really, really important. And I love drawing coffee cups, and I'm learning to draw hands, which is really, really hard. But I'm learning. When in doubt, draw a self-portrait. This is sort of, I set out to draw like my monster side. I was really in a bad mood and had a bad day, so I painted my monster face, and there's a childlike quality to that. My monster has a childlike quality. And the flip side of that is when I'm drawing children, it breaks my heart that they turn out, that the picture turns out sort of wonky and unflattering. And I'm constantly telling children that, I see you as so beautiful, and it breaks my heart that I can't draw you and paint you as beautiful as I see you. Again, people on the bus. Commuting is a wonderful opportunity to draw, to learn how to draw a hat from behind. Just random doodles. A sketchbook is about freedom. You can draw anything in there. Or try to. The good thing about thin paper is that you can do these rubbings of random things. You find coins and whatnot. This was a series of paintings I did. Three paintings of this plastered bust. An Egyptian character. Very random doodles, just making a mess. This is us. Some coins on a table, a guitar pick there. This is us. Again, people on the... Hey, actually, there's a bit of a face there. Not just the back of their head. Some notes from a drawing course I took. Just a random eye there. This was from the course as well. And these aren't my photos. They're just pasted from somewhere. Blind contour drawings, really useful exercise, but I hate it. I absolutely hate drawing blind contour drawings, which means I should, if I want to learn, I should make more of them. And again, I love drawing cameras. I love film photography. That's what it's all about. More blind contour drawings. kind of coffee cup. I actually like that. I think it's actually this one. The kind of place that leaves a mark. The bus has really interesting shapes in it. Here's our office chair at the university. There's a guitar in the background, sort of wonky again. Just a random office chair. I love wordplay and puns. Vanish and punish. That's a funny parallel. And I love, sticking things there. This was during Lent, and small things, big difference. There are 2 Bible passages here in the background, the benedictions, blessed are the meek, and so on, and the fruits of the Spirit, love and joy and peace. And actually, oddly enough, there are 9 of each of them, so I sort of drew connections there. Silence is luxury of the everyday. Again, a coffee cup. Again, someone on the bus. Again, blind contour drawings. It's also about, I'm not good at persisting and sort of doing things constantly, but, I try. I think all of these are with the Diana camera. This is a digital self-portrait. I drew this famous Hokusai wave, and the funny thing is when I drew it, I really noticed these boats struggling in the wave. It was and thought of embracing the void, of sort of going against the wave and embracing it, not fearing it like I always used to think. And also it was about, I took some photos and I think like 2 or 3 whole rolls of film turned out blank. And I was thinking that, these photos weren't taken for me, they were sort of taken for the shadow or for the soul, not for my eyes, but for the inner eyes. And also it's about embracing chaos. The cosmos is just a small rectangle there. Embrace chaos. It's a very liberating thing, chaos, especially in art and creativity. This is what it's all about. Just stick some random stickers there and use a marker there, and it bleeds, and it's beautiful. Or, beautiful in this kind of messy way. We went to Tallinn, took some instant photos there, saw a movie. This is a funny quote from Haruki Murakami's Killing Commendatore book. Instead of stable truth, I choose unstable possibility. Oh wow, all this mess there, spilled some coffee there. This is liberating to me. I know it's not what, it's not beautiful in the traditional sense, but it's the way I go forward. It's part of my creative process. Don't strive to be perfect. Strive to improve and enjoy the process. Don't overthink it. Draw the roses you see. Draw people on the bus. Even if the portrait doesn't work out, just, make some marks on the paper. Leave a mark in the world. In the morning, I draw my coffee maker. The next morning, I draw this open cupboard with my coffee cups in there. People on the bus. This is something I drew all the time. People singing in church and playing guitar in church. And very messy preacher there preaching in church. Then I took this 1 week, 100 people drawing challenge. Started off with some self-portraits. Then some Joan Coltrane pictures. faces from magazines, faces, I think these were at the library, people reading, and a wooden mannequin that I sometimes draw on and work on. More people. And then this started happening. I've been drawing these ever since. These figures with huge hands. And I finished the week off with 50 self-portraits. 50 sort of different ways I see myself. And I am all these people. You know, some days I'm this guy. Some days I'm this guy. A lot of the time I'm this guy. Or this guy. Yeah. Sometimes drawing is a struggle. I remember this week. I was taking a lot of photos, but this was a struggle. Every word is made up from a Marvel movie, maybe Ragnarok or something. That's a made-up word. Every word is made up. Polaroid week was a week I took a lot of instant photos. Made this kind of collage thing. What I do when I'm using thin paper is I tear out every second page, because these pages turn out really thick, so the book doesn't end up too thick. I tear out every other page a lot of the time. Got some postcards. Did some blind contour portraits, self-portraits. This is one of my favorite spreads on this in this book. I love this, exactly this kind of photography that doesn't really work out. Doesn't do what you want it to do. Which is nature working. Which is sort of, if it's not your process, it's someone else's. It's something emerging out of your control. And I was taking this sketchbook revival course. What's her name? Carla Sondheim did this wonderful class on like sidewalk cracks and creatures that emerge from that. Almost anything you add a beak to becomes a bird. Just random sidewalk cracks, and then you add a beak and it's a bird. Almost anything. Almost. And stupid wordplay. Almost bird you beacon anything to becomes an ad. Almost beak becomes you, a bird to add in anything. You can, but you can. Finish and diminish. Actually, a lot of the time when you finish something, it ends up being something less. It doesn't have to make sense to be meaningful. Photography treats depression. Happy surprises. And a new camera. Which is actually something I want to talk about. Buying new stuff. Which is... oftentimes it's a distraction. Here's a cityscape. An imagined cityscape. My sketchbooks used to be filled with this kind of thing. I bought this new camera, I bought these new pens, I bought these new watercolors. And a lot of my, a big part of my creative process has been thinking about things to buy. And now I'm learning, or growing out of that, that it's not about buying things and dreaming of new things to own and to have. That's a distraction. That's just a form of procrastination, and that's one of the things I don't like about YouTube, is that most of the videos I watch on YouTube are really ads. Buy this, there's a product review of this and that, and then I want to buy that new camera, I have to have that new synthesizer or whatever. And that's really harmful for my creative process. I don't want to buy things, I want to draw things and make movies and make music, not just buy stuff. Excellent coffee, yes please. This is one of my favorite spreads again from this sketchbook. I don't know why, I love the mess of it. A cityscape, just adding things to a comic page, probably from an old Donald Duck that I took apart. Random doodles. Oh yeah, the two last months. May 2019, I had 3 themes: words, color, and courage. Not just in this sketchbook, but others as well. Draw every day. Draw the everyday. Just everyday moments. Just doodles. Oh, here's a small doodle inspired by Hervanta, which is a neighborhood in my hometown that I've really grown to love. It has these massive, colossal buildings, grey concrete, and also something very lively and alive there. It's a very lively neighborhood with lots of students and people from different cultures. It's a wonderful place I've grown to love. I used to live there as well. Anyone who has discovered these things has discovered the resurrection ahead of time. From a book or by a Syrian mystic from, I think, 7th century. Syzygy, reading Jung. And drawing coffee cups again. Living life in a lower gear. Slowing down. Like playing the dulcimer. The dulcimer is an instrument of slowing down. It takes its time. You don't have too many notes. The future is digital. Oh wait, the future is analog. I'm loving it that we're living in this analog revival of film photography and making low-mo kino movies and analog synths and whatever. I don't think that's actually a synth, but you get the picture. We live in this wonderful age of analog things coming back, and which brings, at least for me, film photography brings me back to the process. It's expensive, it's difficult, it's unpredictable, and it's chaotic, at least the way I do it. And that's beautiful. And at the same time, the digital age is wonderful for us, and fills me with this awe and childlike wonder of there has never been an age for creative people like this one. All the tools are available. Everyone with a cell phone has a camera. Everyone is a photographer, or you can download an app for making music, or instruments are readily available, and cameras are everywhere. Anyone can afford a pen and paper. So everything is available. All the tools are there. You just have to add your soul to that. Put your heart into it and breathe your spirit into that. Oh man, everything is available. Just add meaning. Just add your life there. Yeah. Watching TV with John Oliver on my iPad. Sticking random things I found. Painting at the beach, trying to catch the sort of airiness of a hot summer's day with my trusty coffee cup in the grass there. Making some storyboards, sort of, storyboards for a low-mo kino movie. Oh, I don't want to spoil the ending. I'm in the process of editing that. You'll see that film at some point. Everything you think is permanent can be erased. And the eternal is something unexpected. Here's an interesting quote from Christine McKenna, summarizing Robert Unry's book, The Art Spirit. Give yourself permission to express yourself as freely and completely as possible. Have faith that this is a worthy endeavor, and believe that you can do it. some more wordplay. I'm really interested in this word psyche or soul, heart, soul, mind. He art, so you mind. And that's why this channel is called Psyche Art, or Psy Heart, whatever. Spirit, soul, body. Soul is something in between the spirit and the body. I love the way watercolors bleed into each other, and again this thin paper, which is beautiful for this kind of mess. And this kind of photography, just an image that's almost blank. You can't see it, but there are some very tiny, subtle change of light there. June, not a day without a line. Colors of June, a self-portrait of June with a camera, a dulcimer, a book, a forest, and again storyboards for a Lamborghini film. Again a coffee cup. Again the everyday. Well, this was a fun project, a lomography do-it-yourself camera. I took an hour or two for building that. That was fun, and it takes, fun photos. Not good ones, but fun. These are actually notes for a sermon here. And again, this guy with the huge hands. The soul needs more space than the body. These two trees. This instant camera. This is a church in my hometown. Judge your progress only by how many pages you fill. The art of making art, the act of making art matters more than the end result. Drawing is important. Even if it's wonky drawing, even if it doesn't really work out, it's important. It's a worthy endeavor. It's worth it to draw someone on the bus, to spill coffee on a page and make these marks. It's worth it. And part of the journey is the end, like the Avengers Endgame film. To be continued. So anyway, like I said, I'm just figuring this channel out. There's going to be some music here. There's going to be some photography here, some art here, yeah. But hey, thanks for watching, and see you later.